Welcome in to today's episode of the Denver Broncos' quest to plug their roster holes ahead of the trade deadline. The deadline is on November 4th, and the Denver Broncos are trying to win a Super Bowl this season. Unfortunately, I don't think their roster is quite in position to do so. But the trade deadline could be the perfect opportunity for the Denver Broncos to plug some of these holes, strengthen some of these weaknesses, and put their roster in a much better position to compete for a Lombardi trophy. There's a new team that we might have to watch in terms of having a fire sale here in these next couple of weeks, and that is the Tennessee Titans. I want to go ahead and bring in this tweet here. So the Titans, they just fired their head coach Brian Callahan. Their season is circling the drain rather quickly, and according to Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, the Titans are likely to be open to trading veterans at the deadline, but one guy who's going to be off limits is Jeffrey Simmons, their star defensive lineman. That doesn't really pertain to the Denver Broncos. Denver doesn't have a need at the interior defensive line position, but they do have some other needs, including tight end, offensive line, inside linebacker, possibly wide receiver, and the Titans do have players at those positions who the Broncos could be interested in. Today, I want to focus once again on the offensive line. We talked about the Broncos trading for a Pro Bowl guard yesterday in Joel Bitonio, and I want to talk about another Pro Bowl guard today in Kevin Zeitler. Ironically enough, another ex-Cleveland Brown. So, with Kevin Zeitler, he's been around the NFL, Cincinnati, Cleveland, he's been in Baltimore, he's been in Detroit. He signed with Tennessee as a free agent this offseason, and he's played well in Tennessee. Kevin Zeitler has not been the problem there in Tennessee at all. I want to go ahead and bring in his numbers on the season. So when you look at Kevin Zeitler here, he's got 2 sacks allowed, 1 quarterback hit, 2 hurries, and 5 total pressures. In terms of PFF grade, which is subjective and kind of wishy-washy sometimes, but it is a decent baseline tool to evaluate players based on their film, he is the 10th highest graded pass blocking guard. In terms of run blocking, Kevin Zeitler is the 20th highest grade run blocking guard, and you'll see that Quinn Miners is ahead of him at 11, and then Ben Powers is just below him at 23. But the Broncos aren't going to have Ben Powers until at least December. They've got to figure out this position until then. Benjamin Albright yesterday said that the Denver Broncos could trade for a guy like Joel Bitonio, who we talked about yesterday. I don't know if the Broncos would be interested in Zeitler. I think they would because he's a good player. If they're going to be interested in Bitonio, I'd imagine they'd be interested in Zeitler. But the other thing to keep in mind here is, would the Tennessee Titans even be willing to move on from Kevin Zeitler, trying to prioritize protecting their young quarterback in Cam Ward? I don't know, but we're going to go about this video just assuming that the Tennessee Titans would trade him, and Adam Schefter did hint at that idea when talking about some other players who could potentially get traded. Zeitler was in that mix. He was on that list, so that is something to keep in mind here. As far as the finances go, Zeitler signed a 1-year deal for just under $9 million with Tennessee, so Denver would take on that cap hit. They'd have to do some manipulation tactics in order to make that work, because right now they only have $6 million in available cap space, but that's not hard to do, especially with the Broncos having rich owners. They could convert a lot of this stuff into a bonus and all that stuff, and they could probably spread it into future years via void years and all kinds of stuff. So there are plenty of crazy ways for the Denver Broncos to manipulate the salary cap here, and they could make this work. As far as what Denver would be giving up for Kevin Zeitler, he is an older player. It'd be kind of similar to Joel Bitonio in my opinion. I was going to be willing to give up a conditional 5th-round pick for Joel Bitonio that could become a 4th-round pick. I wouldn't necessarily go quite that high for Kevin Zeitler because he doesn't have the all-pro nods that Joel Bitonio does. So I'd maybe say a conditional 6 that could become a 5th-round pick. I don't think Tennessee would do that. It might be the former deal that would move the needle for the Tennessee Titans. I don't know. If I'm the Titans, I'm not trading away Kevin Zeitler, but let's just be honest. The Tennessee Titans, they're a stupid and incompetent organization. So I could see him doing it. I could see him being that dumb, and the Denver Broncos could reap the rewards of the Tennessee Titans' stupidity. I don't know for sure if the Denver Broncos are going to make an outside move at guard. The likely choice right now to step up in favor of Ben Powers and Matt Peart is going to be Alex Palczewski, based on what Mike Klis is saying. I thought it was going to be Calvin Throckmorton, but apparently Palczewski might get the nod. If not Palczewski, then I do think it's going to be Throckmorton, but that's going to be something to keep an eye on over these next couple of days. If neither of those guys cut it, especially if the Broncos want to keep Palczewski as that jumbo offensive lineman, we could see this move made over the course of these next few weeks. Again, the deadline's not until November 4th. The Broncos have a few weeks to make a decision here, but they don't want to wait too long because some other team could pounce and they could trade for all of the good options that are legit available. Just because insiders and media are saying guys are available doesn't mean they're actually available, so that is something else to keep in mind as well. Alright, Broncos country, let me know in the comment section below. Would you trade for Kevin Zeitler? And if so, what would you be willing to give up for him? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts, as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country, just like you and me. Additionally, if you guys want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. I would really appreciate it. It's not mandatory whatsoever, but if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out, helping grow the community, and helping improve the production quality of these videos, I would really appreciate if you would consider it. Link in the description below. Alright guys, before we get out of here, I want to tell you about the affiliate partner for today's video, Green Gridiron Helmets. Use code DENSYN, DENSYN, link in the description below, to save off your first purchase on authentic NFL helmets. From small replicas like this one behind me to full-size authentic helmets, they've got it all. Again, that is code DENSYN, DENSYN, link in the description below, to save off your first purchase from Green Gridiron Helmets. Thank you so much to them, and until next time guys, I'm your host Gage Madrid, saying peace out.